This is Math 141, and this is the final practice test. And this is the first question, question number 1. And we are supposed to find all the zeros of this function. So first thing that I'm going to do as I look at this is I know that it's my potential zeros are factors of the last term over factors of the leading coefficient. So anything plus or minus 60 over 1. So I have all these factors of 60 as possibility, plus or minus 1, plus or minus 2, plus or minus 3, plus or minus 4, plus or minus 5, etc. There's a whole lot of possibilities. So I actually would grab my graphing calculator, first graph it, get some good ideas, and it looks like one might be at 2. So I'm going to try x minus 2 as a factor. That means that 2 would be the root, would be the 0. So I'll do some synthetic division to see if it actually is. 1, 3, 1, 3, negative 20, negative 60. I don't have any placeholders I need in here. So I'll do my synthetic division, bring down the 1, multiply by 2, add, multiply by 2, add, multiply by 2, add, again multiply by 2, that gives me a 50, add that gives me a negative 30, multiply by 2, that gives me a positive, oh no, sorry, that's a positive 30. Yay, that gives me a positive 60. Gives me a 0 here. So yep, 2 is one of my roots, one of my zeros. So I'm going to start listing them over here. So one of them is 2. And then if I keep looking at the graph, it looked like x plus 2 is another potential. So I will try negative 2 going into this. So I'll do the synthetic division, bring down that 1. It's a negative 2. Add that as a 3. Multiply, it's a negative 6. Add that's a 5. Multiply negative 10. That's a 15. Multiply, it gives me a negative 30. That gives me a 0 there. Yep. So negative 2 is another 0. And again, if I look at my graph that I made, another potential is negative 3. That means that x plus 3 would be the factor. So let's see if negative 3 works. Bring down the 1, multiply. It gives me a 0 when I add. Multiply, it gives me a 0. Add, that's a 5. Multiply, it's a negative 15. Those cancel out. Boom, so it looks like negative 3 is my other 0. And notice what's left, I'm left with this quadratic. So this would be x squared plus 5. I want to know when that equals 0. That's easy to solve. Subtract 5 from both sides. I get x squared equals negative 5. Square root both sides. X is going to give me plus or minus square root of 5. Square root of a negative is an imaginary number, so plus or minus root 5i. So my other two zeros are root 5i and negative root 5i. And let me write that 5 so it looks reasonable. And there's number 1.